Mia, nice to meet you, Matt.
Hi, Mia.
Let's continue with Smoot, since I talked to him this morning, and of course known him for 6-7 years now. But I know he mentioned, of course, your connection with him when you guys are in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
How much have you been stumping, perhaps, maybe dropping some seeds about that relationship and maybe bringing him back here to Jacksonville?
I think whenever you can bring a player into the room, one of his character and his ability and his experience, and mix that with the familiarity, I think that's really important. I think that he knows what he's getting with me. I certainly know what I'm getting with him, and a lot of the players are familiar with him. So that was really an easy transition. I would say the room probably welcomed him with open arms, as did I. Mm-hmm. So as far as dropping any hints, I certainly stated my case of why I thought he would be a good fit here.
Why Jacksonville? Why are you here? What was your story to end up here?
I just felt like this was a really good opportunity. When you looked at the roster, when you look at the division, when you look at the staff that Coach Cohen was putting together, it was really an easy choice for me to want to be here and be a part of this.
When it comes to the edge depth, and Eric I know talked about it on John Olsher, wherever he is, in the podcast earlier this weekend, this idea of maybe last year it was a numbers game of sorts between the defensive tackles, edge depth behind Josh and Trayvon. How would you evaluate in the last 2-3 months how you guys have been able to sort through and create depth in both those regards, in both of those positions?
Yeah, I think as far as the edges, the ability to add veteran players like Agba, like Smoot, has certainly helped. Our ability to bring in younger players, some of the rookies that we want to continue to develop, and then some of the other guys that were here that we want to continue to work with. I think that we've made strides, certainly over the last couple weeks, as far as that, and then we're really excited about the inside guys. We've got, like I said, we've got a really good mix of veterans, and then we have some young players that we're really excited about.
Which of those interior players, that maybe the younger ones, since I know there's two LSU Tigers in particular.
There are two LSU Tigers.
What was it about those two?
I think Jordan's done an unbelievable job this spring. He shows up, he works hard, he practices hard, does everything we ask him to, and it's the same with Mason. Really excited about both those guys, but then you could throw Tyler Lacey in that same conversation. There's a handful of talented, hungry, young players here that I think are still very much developing.
Yeah. When I saw Tyler on the practice field, I forget it was Monday or Thursday or today, a little bit bigger. Is that something that maybe gives him more positional flexibility, maybe to go inside the nose, or is that just the natural progression of his career?
Yeah, I can't really speak to where he was last year. I know when he was coming out, he was a little bit of a lighter guy, but I think the strength staff, the nutrition staff, they're all working towards finding the optimal weight for all of our players, and I think Tyler's really developing well. He's strong. He's a big guy. He does have some versatility, and I think his main focus is just trying to identify and carve out his role.
Yeah. Since you mentioned the strength staff, you obviously are very familiar with Ciano.
Very much so.
Tell the folks at home who may not know Eric Ciano what the Jaguars have gotten in him.
My year in Buffalo, I got to know Eric, and I just kind of watched. I don't know anything about strength and conditioning, so I'm not going to comment on any of the science of what he does, but I think what I observed most was the way that the players were attracted to Eric. They wanted to be in the weight room in Buffalo. They wanted to be around him and his staff. And then when we had the opportunity to get him here, I was really excited and just looking from afar at the staff he put together. It seems like a great group of guys, and I think he has a really good approach with the players. I think he does a great job building relationships, and I think all of that's backed in knowledge. And when the players, go through his workouts and they listen to what he's trying to accomplish, I think it gives him credibility with it.
Last one from me: the rookie free agents.
Yeah.
Brought in a lot of them along the defensive line. We haven't gotten a chance to really talk to many of them, or hear from some coaches about them. Just walk us through kind of the group that you have along the defensive line in particular.
Yeah, as a whole, The group's been great so far. Like, these guys show up. They hang out in the hotel. Like, you can tell that as rookies, like, they're close. They're always talking, quizzing each other, just trying to figure it out. But we're excited about all those guys, you know. Strigal on the edge, Ethan, BJ, like, every one of those guys is a little bit different, and they have their own little skill set, and they're all adapting to kind of our play style. And it'll be exciting to watch the development of those guys. We're certainly excited about the steps they've taken so far, and we just got to see what that looks like when we get into camp. And same thing on the inside with Kiwi and Eli and James. Like, show up, they try to execute the techniques. I think they're all hard workers, and certainly it shows that they are studying, because for a group of rookies, like, they don't have a lot of mistakes, which is good because they can't afford to.
Yeah, I lied. One more I forgot. Your connection to Anthony. Did you know Anthony at all? Or?
We actually didn't.
Yeah.
We have some of my close friends in the profession are some of his close friends, and some of the people that have been mentors for him have also been mentors for me. So while we didn't know each other, there was certainly a familiarity, and we kind of knew that we saw football the same way. And then once we started talking, it had felt like we had known each other for a long time.
Hey, Mia here, and thanks so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars. For even more coverage of the Big Cats, be sure to subscribe to 1010XL Jaguars.